Okay, let's give you guys some examples. So we've seen these graphs in the previous video. In this video, we're going to make use of this. So remember, when it comes to 1 over x squared, this area here will be infinite, and this area here will be finite. So this area here will converge. So remember this. We're going to make use of this later on. So we've seen this in the previous video as well, but we're not going to make use of it. So now, if I were to ask you, so from 0 to infinity, would this converge or diverge? So to do this, well, if you look at this, this is very much very similar to this. So when you see this, just remember that if you have a function f of x equals 1 over x squared, that looks like this. Looks something like this. And then if you apply this transformation, you will shift everything to the right by 5. So you're going to get this x minus 5. Well, basically this thing goes into here, which also goes into here, so it becomes this. So the point here is that this thing is really 1 over x squared shifted all the way to the right by 5. So just bear that in mind. So it's really this. So it's really this. So it's 1 over x squared being shifted across by 5. So this here is 5. So to answer the question, 0 to infinity, will this whole thing converge or will it diverge? So from 0 all the way to infinity, remember we don't care about this tail here. We don't care about this. We only care about from 0 to infinity, from 0 all the way to infinity. So the way we would do this would be to break it up into two integrals, from 0 to, let's say, 7. It could be anywhere. Let's just say from 0 to 7. So that's from 0 to 7. So that's this bit here. And then from 7 to infinity, from 7 to infinity. Now, if you look at this here, hang on. Remember that when it comes to 1, remember that when it comes to 1 to infinity, this thing here will converge. So this point here will correspond to this. Hang on. Because it's been shifted across 5. So hang on. So this point here, this is 1 here. So this point here, because it's been shifted across 5, because it has been shifted across 5, that point there corresponds to this. So hang on, let me just go back here. Remember this point here, which is 1 here, it's been shifted across 5, so it's going to end up at 6. It's going to end up at 6. So just remember that this thing from this point here, everything here will converge. But then if you break it up to an arbitrary point of 7, well, this is 7. If from here everything converges, then of course that 7 is going to converge as well. So this thing here, so from here, from 7 to infinity, from 7 all the way to infinity, we know that this is going to converge, because we know that at this point here, we know that this is going to converge, because if you look at this, because we've already established that this thing is going to converge. So if this bit here converges, then from 7 to infinity, this point here will also converge. If you integrate it from, let's say, 6.72, say, wherever that is, maybe around here, so this is also going to converge. If you know that from here, from 1 to infinity converges, then this bit here is going to converge. The point here is that this thing here is going to converge. And then if you look at this here, remember, hang on, if we split this up, there's an asymptote here. There's an asymptote here at 5. So let's go back down here. You know that this area here, here we've got an asymptote at 0. So you know that this area here is going to diverge. It's going to be infinite. This area here is going to be infinite. It will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, if you look at this, from 0 to 7, from 0 to 7. But we don't care about this side. Let's just look at this bit here. Hang on. Let's just look at this bit here. Already we know that this bit is going to diverge. We already know that this bit is going to diverge. So if this area here is going to diverge, then we can say that this whole thing here is going to diverge, because this is going to diverge as well. Well, if we know that this is going to diverge, if we know that this bit is going to diverge, then the whole thing from 0 to 7 is going to diverge. If this bit here is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, then when you add an extra bit, it's still going to get bigger and bigger. Well, the point here is that this bit here is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Therefore, the whole thing here is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So this bit here is going to converge. This bit here is going to get bigger and bigger. Well, if let's say if this is finite, and then if this bit here keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger, then the overall thing here is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. This thing here, we can now conclude that it diverges. Okay.